Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, to all students CAC 441. Okay, we will discuss a new topic which is multimedia environment, hardware and application. So basically we have three topic that we will discuss. Okay, first we will discuss on the multimedia domain and where it used. Okay, and then we will discuss on the multimedia applications. Okay, example of applications that we have. Okay, and also the last part we will discuss how you develop the multimedia, and then what are the system support tools that we needed in order for us to develop the multimedia. Okay, the first subtopic here, okay, we will discuss on the where actually the multimedia is used. Okay, so during the pandemic COVID, nowadays class, as we know that okay, all in the digital form. Okay, we want to deliver information, we want to deliver the process, so everything is inside or using the digital platform. Okay, how you deliver the information, okay, how you make sure that the information is delivered to the or you deliver the correct information to the user. Okay, so this is where we have the multimedia concept. Okay, for example, class, we want to deliver information about the vaccination of COVID-19, right? So we are using infographic to deliver the information. Okay, we are not just using the text. Okay, and then we also use the video platform. Okay, we record okay what is the vaccine is about and so on. Okay, so this is where actually the multimedia use. Okay, actually is in various areas. Okay, what I will show you is only some part of the area. Okay, so first is where multimedia apply in the business. Okay, as you know that business is one of the important area. Okay, to generate income. So this is where you can use the multimedia. For example, you can use for training, okay, staff training. Okay, instead of you are using only the manual, you are now using the multimedia, okay, or the video, or the animation, simulation, and so on. Okay. Other than that, we have the catalogs. So this is not the normal catalog. We have the e-catalog, electronic catalog, which combination of the text, okay, images, okay, and also some of it we have the link to the YouTube, okay, using the QR code. Okay, so actually there are a lot of things that we can discuss in the business. But the major idea is that okay, multimedia used to be in the business, okay, in order for presentation, okay, in terms of the graphic, okay, and then you are using the video, okay, to promote your product. Okay, for example, you are using the social networking, okay, to advertise your product and services, right? Okay, that is the function of the multimedia in business. Okay, how about education? Okay, multimedia in education. Of course, multimedia in education also one of the important okay issue or area that you can be discussed. Okay, for example, you can use the courseware or simulations, right? Okay, for example, you in the class, okay, not only the teacher explain about the experiment, okay, the lab experiment, but you are using the courseware, okay, to show you how to do the experiment, okay, or the simulation, for example. Okay, and then we are now using, for example, for you using the e-learning, okay, at the U-Future, for example, or you are using the Google Classroom. Okay, even though the Google Classroom platform, okay, only as a platform to put all the materials, okay, but in terms of developing the materials itself, okay, that is part of the multimedia concept or multimedia content. Okay, and in terms of information searching also, we are using the multimedia. Okay, we can search by text, we can search by video, and so on. Okay, alright. Okay, in terms of entertainment, I think you know this. Okay, where you have the games. Okay, we have where you have the for example, you have entertainment for the theatre, movies, and so on. Okay, this is example of the graphics or images that you can see. Okay, we have the studio. Maybe nowadays when we have pandemic, so more people have their own studio at home. Okay, so not only the musician and so on, because they want to record, okay, or they want to have the live session in the house. Okay. Okay, and then how about multimedia at home? Okay, what is multimedia at home? It's basically it is you can say that part of the smart home. Okay, for example, okay, you are using the sensor, okay, to on your out your lighting, for example. Okay, okay, and then nowadays, okay, we have the television on demand. Okay, and then we have part of it technology. Okay, for example, in terms of the projector itself, okay, the technology on projector also have the evolution. Okay, okay, and then how about the public access? Okay, when we talk about public access, actually it is talking about you share the information in the public area. Okay, for example, you want to share information in the mall, okay, or in the museum, okay, or in the zoo, or in the public places. Okay, so how you share the information? Okay, let's say you want to share information about, okay, where you want to get the product in the mall. Okay, for example, you want to get the food, okay, at you want to find a food, okay, at restaurant A. Okay, so your information kiosk, for example, used to show you the direction. Okay, that is the example of application that we have in multimedia. Okay, other than that, okay, if you can see in the picture there, okay, that is also a part of information kiosk, but in the different access or in the different interface. Okay, some of it can be touchable. Okay, that is the current or the and using the QR code linked to your mobile phone. Okay, that is also the very good technology nowadays. Okay, for the information. Okay, and then how about multimedia in the VR? Okay, actually we have discussed VR, okay, in previous topic. So VR is actually an extension of multimedia, and it uses the basic multimedia elements, okay, of imagery, sound, and animation. So it requires instrumented feedback from a wired person. Okay, so what you can imagine plus, okay, VR is actually the simulation or the situation where you use some of the device, okay, and you can feel the situation in the real. Okay, for example, you play games, okay, you can feel that you are in the games itself. Okay, okay, when you want, okay, let's say you will see in the picture there where they plant vegetables, so you can set, okay, the water level, the sunlight, the plant progress. You can see, okay, the real situation, what happened in the process. Okay, and in terms of the VR in education, okay, you can feel in how you create the DNA, or how you imagine a cell inside the human. Okay, that is the function of VR. It will help you understand clearly on the situation where it apply the real case. Okay, it is same goes to the multimedia in the medical, okay, or medicine or health. Okay, some of it using that for the surgery. Okay. Okay, next we look at the multimedia application. So actually multimedia application, when we talk about, is more on where you apply example of specific applications, okay, in the area, certain area that we have discussed. Okay, so it is actually application, okay, which uses a collection of multiple sources. Of course, when we talk about multimedia itself, you have defined it in the first chapter. Okay, that is a combination at least more than one elements from the file. Okay, text, graphic, images, sound or audio, animation, and also the video. Okay, and then hypermedia also can be considered as one of the multimedia application. Okay, Okay, next subtopic, we will look at the multimedia development and system support. Okay, this topic quite long, okay, because we are talking about several parts. Okay, the first part, which is, okay, I will discuss on the stages. Okay, we have 4 stages in multimedia project development. Okay, and then what are the supporting elements or tools that we need to have? Okay, the next part we will discuss on the hardware, software, and also the creativity and organizational skills. Okay, so this is the stages that we have class. Okay, starting from the first one, which is the planning and costing. Okay, and then we will look at or discuss on designing and producing. Okay, and then we have testing. After that, we deliver the product. Okay, so the first stage, which is planning and costing. When we look at the word planning, it means that you before you develop something, you need to have the strategy, you need to have the planning, you need to have in mind, okay, or organize it. Okay, so the needs of a project are analyzed by outlining its messages and objectives. So in these stages, you need to identify what you want to develop, okay, for your project. Okay, for example, for your final project, you need to develop a video. Okay, so before you develop your video, plus you need to identify what video that you need to develop. Okay, what is the purpose of that video? Okay, that is in the planning stage. So what is planning or plan? Outline that required multimedia expertise is prepared. So can be a plan, a simple plan, can be very complex plan, depends on how you recorded or documented the plan. Okay, so you can use graphic template, you can use structure, navigation system, okay, and you can include that in your plan. So basically this one is, of course, you need to have that. Okay, and then talking about costing. Okay, so it's not only the budget, okay, the money, but costing is in terms of the time, also time management. Okay, so in this stages class, you also need a short prototype. Okay, what is prototype? Okay, it is actually a representation of your real product. Okay, what you want to develop, so you design in the prototype. And prototype also, we can call that as a proof of concept. Okay, so means that when you document it in your planning, okay, or your proposal, you need to have the application, okay, or you need to visualize it in the prototype form. Okay, so this is some of the tasks, okay, that involved in the planning and costing. Okay, what you need to do, okay, designing and the instructional framework. Okay, so you need to design, okay, you need to imagine what you want to have, okay, and then you need to have a team, of course. So in the team, you need to brainstorm the idea. Okay, and then in these stages also, you need to identify how you want to deliver the platform. Okay, for example, okay, I want you to develop a video, so I want you to submit into the MP4 file. So how you submit it? Is it you need to publish in the YouTube, or is it you need to publish in the just submit online through email or through Google Classroom? Okay, so you need to look at this platform, okay, because different platform has different requirements or different specification. Okay, so in terms of the team members, you also need to plan the distribution of tasks. Okay, so in this planning, so you need to identify who is your expert to develop the content of the video. Okay, who is the expert that can edit the audio, edit the video, okay, shooting the video, creating the content, scripting, and so on. Okay, so for your project, so you need to strategize on that. Okay, you can think it now. Okay, and then how about building a prototype? As I mentioned, this is one of the tasks in the planning. So prototype is not the finished work, but it is actually the mock, or the you can say that the first draft of your project. Okay, so the next stage, which is design and producing. Okay, so it is actually when you have plan, on paper what you want to do, so you need to design it. Design it using the tools that suitable for the project development. So the plan tasks are performed to create a finished project. So the product is revised based on continuous feedback received from the client. So designing a project multimedia, which is requires knowledge and skill with computers, talent in graphics, art, video and music, and the ability to conceptualize logical pathway. So this is important part in the design. So when you have design, of course you need to design your structure and interface. So structure means that you have learned this before this. You have linear, non-linear, hierarchical. So and then in terms of user interface, how you want to display your product to the user. That is the interface. What user can see, that is the user interface. Then after that you will produce it. When you design, you produce it or develop it accordingly to your plan. So the next stage, which is the testing and delivery. Testing is what you want to make sure that your product is free error, working properly, working accordingly to the user requirements or client requirements. So basically, class, we have two parts of testing. Which is first is alpha, performed by the developer. Number two is beta, testing, performed by the client. So alpha is the first step of testing, because as a developer, as a person that developed the product, for example, you and your team members develop the video, so you need to test it first. All the team members need to test it to make sure the content is correctly, the flow of the content is correct. After that, once you have completed it, you test to the user. Who is the user? You test to your other friends or your families and so on. Let's say that is the case for your project. For let's say if you have that, if you develop a product for a children, so you need to test to the children as your client. So from that testing, sometimes you will get feedback. So the feedback can be positive or negative. So you need to take it and then make sure that some of the feedback may be useful to improve your product. Some of it maybe is not relevant to the product requirements. So the last part in the multimedia project, which is delivering. So how you want to deliver to the user? Is it you want to deliver through the online? Through the online also we have several platforms. Where you want to deliver through the social media, to the web-based concept, to the mobile-based concept. And then other than that, you can deliver to the it's not the online, offline, where you use the CD-ROM and so on. So this stage also important. Some of the final project where you have packaging also. This is the offline platform. So the next part we'll discuss on the software. So this is quite I think the software is quite easy, where you can use or where you have used it in the your daily life. So when you are using the computer, laptop, basically you have the operating system. That is actually one of the software. Software is something that is inside your computer where you cannot feel it. It is a function as the application that help you to do the task. That is the software. So we have two types of software class. First is operating system. Second is the second one is the application system or application software. So the operating system we have to measure. Actually we have more than this. but the comparison that I discussed here only two, okay, for the operating system, okay, which is the Mac and also the Windows. So Macintosh is actually developed by Apple company, okay, while Windows is developed by the Microsoft. Okay, so in the multimedia class overall, okay, in the multimedia, Macintosh platform is have a very good what you can say that capabilities, okay, to run the multimedia product very good, okay, because it built in with the audio and very high quality hardware, okay, high quality graphics, for example. Okay, but nowadays, okay, for Windows also we have improved in terms of the quality of the hardware and also the software. So that's why Windows nowadays very famous also, because of not only, I think because of the price, it's much more cheaper than the Mac, okay, or Apple product. Okay, and then that is operating system. Then we look at the networking concept. Okay, networking concept we have here is actually direct communication and sharing platform. Okay, so networking, you want to share the information. For example, you don't have any face-to-face class, so how we are going to share your the materials and so on. Okay, so we are using the internet. So internet is actually the networking that we have. Okay. Okay, so other than that, we have local area network, okay, which is located within a short distance. For example, you can imagine your lab, okay, that is a local area network. In one lab, okay, that is local area network. Okay, and then we have wide area network, WAN. Okay, communication systems span great distance, are typically set up and managed by large corporation. Okay, but it is quite expensive because of the facilities also. Okay, to set up the networking, you need to have the facilities. Facilities here is about the devices, okay, the cable, okay, the server and so on. Okay, another one we have the internet, okay, which is this one I think we also have discussed it. Okay, so internet is actually one of the platform to internet working that deliver information all over the world, okay, worldwide. Okay, so to establish communication between Mac and Windows platform, so you need to install Ethernet system, okay, and client server software. So Ethernet is a method of wiring up computers. Okay, so in terms of client server, it is actually the basic concept of the networking. Okay, so you need to have client and server, sender and receiver. Okay, that is the concept of networking. So you need to have the software for communication and transfer of the file. Software here means that how you send your okay, for example, I want to send email. Okay, I want to send messages through email. So what is the software here? Email. Or what is the application here that we use is email. Okay, and then we also have Mac computers built in internet working. Okay, while Windows PC require an additional Ethernet card. Alright, so next we look at the hardware class. Okay, hardware is basically some devices that we use, okay, that you can touch, you can feel, okay, together with the software. So we need to have both, okay, software and also the hardware. Okay, so connection, in the software we talk about connection. So basically we have four basic connection here: SSI, okay, IDE, USB, and also the Firewire. So SSI is actually connect internal and external. Okay, what is this class? It is actually the cable type. Okay, what kind of cable type that we have in the multimedia? So we have the internal and external peripheral. Okay, and then we also have the card installed. So you can look at the picture there I share with you. So what kind of device that we link using the SSI? So if you look at the cable there, it is actually to link to the printer. Okay, for the external peripherals. Okay, for the internal, okay, you link to your hard disk, okay, or your storage. Okay. Okay, and then also we have the type of cable IDE. okay, IDE, integrated drive electronic. So this is an example for the internal only. Okay, so if you can see that cable pass, okay, this one, okay, this is only for the internal. Okay, we cannot see this cable outside, right? Okay, because this is inside your computer, okay, inside your motherboard and so on. Okay. Okay, and then you also have the USB, okay, Universal Serial Bus. So this is one of the cable that is very famous nowadays because it uses concept plug and play system. Okay, most of it you don't need to install the software. So just plug in and then you can just read the USB. Okay. Okay, for example, we have USB for the printer. Okay, but for the printer case, you need to install the driver. Okay, some of it maybe has been installed in your computer. That's why you don't need to install it. Okay, so how you attach to the computer itself for all the cable class, you need to have the port. So what is meaning of port? So at your laptop, you can see that where you want to plug in the USB cable, for example. So you need to have the port to plug in the cable USB. Okay, and then we also have the Firewire. So this is actually one of the cable that used purposely for the multimedia. In terms of you want to send the message, okay, to the computer. Okay, so Firewire speed up the movement of multimedia data, okay, and then it is suitable for the large file. Okay. Okay, so it's quite expensive actually, the cable. So if you look at your laptop, do you have this Firewire? So after this, you check, okay, your port. So can you plug into this Firewire? From my experience, last time I have Sony laptop. So in Sony, we have this cable, okay. Okay, and then also we have the HDMI cable. Okay, this one I add another one. Okay, what is HDMI? High definition multimedia interface. Okay, because nowadays we are using this for the, for example, for connecting projector to the laptop. Okay, because some of the computer or the laptop, they don't have the VGA. Okay, the VGA cable, right? The blue color itself. Because that is the old type of the cable. Nowadays, most of us using HDMI. So this is purposely for the multimedia class. Okay, you can look at your Astro. Okay, they are using also the HDMI. So how you link that? You need to have in at the Astro box or Android box the HDMI and also to the television. Okay. So when you want to buy television, so look at the port. Okay, do you have that for the device that you want to choose? Okay. Okay, so you can read, okay, the example of HDMI, the differences. Okay, this is for your extra knowledge. Okay, so what other than that we have in the hardware? So we have the memory. Of course, this is one part of the important. Okay, other than the we call that other than your processor. Okay, processor. So the memory is one part of the important device or hardware that you need to have. Okay, so you have to type here RAM and ROM. So RAM is for the random access memory, ROM is for read-only memory. So ROM is you cannot change it. Okay, for example, your BIOS setting of the computer itself is very fixed. Okay, you cannot change it. But RAM is temporary. When you run your application in your computer, so automatically RAM will use, okay, the memory of the computer itself. So that's why when your computer is slow, you need to look at the RAM and also at your hard disk. Okay, this is example of the storage device class. So maybe you have other example than this. Okay, just read it yourself. Okay, and then maybe you can search from the internet to get some of other device that you can use. Okay, but in terms of this, I think the famous storage device that you use is the USB. Okay. Okay, and then we have DVD. Okay, so DVD also we have so many types. DVD-R, okay, on the right, DVD-RW read and write. Okay, you can DD it, you can and then after that you can save other file also. Okay, so the difference of DVD and CD is actually the size, right? Okay, so this is the CD-ROM. Okay, so and then also the CDR. So in order for you to use the hardware class, you need to have the player. Okay, for example, you want to use the disk, floppy disk. So you need to have your floppy disk player at your computer. So nowadays, I think most of the laptop we don't have the CD-ROM or DVD-ROM player, right? So you need to buy it separately, because I think nowadays we don't have too much CDR or CD, right, or DVD. Most of the content is there online. Okay, this is example of input. Okay, so many input that we have, so you can look at the example also class. Okay, for your type of keyboard, mouse, trackball, touch screen. Okay, so this is example. Okay, and then other than that, we have magnetic card, okay, card reader, okay, swipe, you want to read your debit card, credit card, and so on. Okay, and then you have the graphic tablets, okay, scanner, okay, to scan your content. Okay, and then you have the voice recognition system. Okay, this is input. Input is where you want to get you want to save into your computer. That is input. Okay, and then for digital camera, you want to record it, and then you can save it digitally in the computer for editing. Okay, for output device is actually you want to deliver to the user. Okay, after the computer process it will deliver to the user. For example, audio, for input is microphone, for output is the speaker. Okay, you want to hear it. Okay, what is recording that you have recorded. Okay, so you are using the speaker. Okay, and then in terms of the video, okay, it can be input and also the output device. Okay, this is other output device that we have, projectors and also the printers. Okay, for communication device is actually related to the internet. Okay, so how you can use internet? So basically you need to have modems or ISDN. So modem, what is modem class? So modem can be internal. So as you can see that, okay, this is example of the internal modem inside your laptop or computer. Okay, and then it will link to the telephone, okay, line. Okay, and then modem is actually modulate and demodulate analog signal. Okay, so basically for the telephone line, okay, they are using the analog signal. Okay, so how you transfer it to the computer, because computer only read digital signal. Okay, so you have to have the modem to translate or to change the analog to the digital, okay, for the computer to read, and then after that, okay, it transfer back to the modem. Okay, so it will demodulate, okay, change from the analog to from the digital to analog back. Okay, that is how the process. Okay, and then for the ISDN, okay, integrated service digital network. Okay, so this is basically you can see Streamix or Unify. Okay, but Unify is using fiber. The ISDN, okay, it will speed up, okay, your transfer data. Okay, creativity and organizational skills. Okay, this is we talk about, okay, the soft skill. Okay, the soft elements that you need to have in order for you to develop your multimedia project. Okay, so you need to have creativity. Okay, so how you get the creativity? So you need to look at example. Okay, so creativity is actually not only the talent, okay, but you can gain the creativity by practicing it. Okay, and then in terms of organization, okay, how you organize your multimedia content. Okay, for your project also you need to record your video. Okay, how you record the sound itself. Okay, how you naming the file. So this is some of the elements that I emphasize for you to look at or discuss with your team members. Okay, and then for communication, okay, among the group, work group and client essential. Okay, so of course, with your team members, since we have ODL class, so you need to discuss with the team members, and then you need to always have the virtual meeting. Okay, so do not just deliver the task without the live meeting. Okay, so at least every week you need to have the live meeting discussing on the progress of your project. Okay, alright, so I think that's all. So I want you to look again at the slide. Okay, read carefully, and then you can also refer to the multimedia making it work. Okay, look at the chapters that are related to this topic. Right. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.